guys. Welcome to today's Q&A. Yes, all right. Whoa, I don't know what happened to my voice. All right, welcome to today's Q&A, you guys. It is Break Safety Week. It's already in full force. So if you're not familiar with that, we'll hit on that and kind of give you a little bit of detail about what it's all about. And of course, it's bonus week. 'Tis the time for those who earn their bonuses to get paid. And you probably already saw that. Payouts go out on Monday, and you'll be able to see, usually you see your information the week ahead of time. So you'll receive it on the Transflow GeoTab unit and have access to it there. But welcome to today's Q&A. You guys, this is an opportunity for you to get your trucking answers right here live and hopefully quickly, right? All right, so I just realized that I didn't turn my phone down, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that right now, so you don't have 1 gazillion interruptions. How's that? All right. I'm going to start off by sharing a video that Jesse just sent me just a few minutes ago. Jesse is our flatbed trainer, one of our flatbed trainers, I should say, and he's done a phenomenal job. He got a lot of recognition here in the last couple of days, so yeah, huge shout out for him. But here is a little bit of a video that he just sent me, and I figured it was worth sharing. So here you go. Thanks, Jess. Appreciate you sending that over. Always love to see that. Junior actually posted one a little bit earlier. I was trying to figure out how to obtain that. I know you posted, Junior put it on Instagram. Beautiful video. Love that one as well. I'll have to figure out how I can get that uploaded for you guys to watch as well. All right. Thank you. So let me make sure I thank him. On YouTube. There we go. That way he knows. All right, so welcome you guys to today's Q&A. Let's get some of those questions answered for you. If you have any, go ahead and put them in the chat. That way I can see if you're asking about a certain zip code and what we have available out of your neck of the woods. That'd be perfect. Just put it in there. I'll find out what we have available for you and give you a little bit of detail on each of those positions. So that'll make life a little bit easier for you. We also have, maybe if I close this, it'll be a little bit better for you guys. Looks like it's kind of choppy. So let me close that. No problem. Okay, excellent. Yeah, so let's talk about some of our bonus programs and what those are all about. We have a couple of different programs. We have both monthly. We have a scorecard, which is figured on a few different criteria, 7 actually, unless you're an owner-operator, lease purchase, then there's 5 criteria for that. So we're going to go through that. Now, if you are an owner-operator and lease purchase driver, then the idle time and the fuel compliance are not figured into the scorecard for you. They're completely different. You're going to be saving big bucks going through our fuel plan. So you won't see any additional bonus on that part, but yeah, you already take care of that. And then of course idle time, you know how important that is because it's your bottom line at that point. So Michael, hi, how are you? Thanks for joining us. So with the scorecard bonus, there's the 7 criteria. You have your miles per gallon, so you have your miles per gallon, your idle time, your miles any claims that you've had, CSA violations, or if you've had any CSA violations or preventable accidents, as well as service failures. So those are all criteria that will count for or against you, depending on which one we're talking about, in order to get a max point of 1,000 points. So max is 1,000 for the scorecard. Now, the opposite of our safety bonus, you want the lower number. In the scorecard, you want the higher number. So with the breakdown, there's 4 different levels. Actually, there's 5 different levels if you count. You either don't receive a payout or you don't receive a scorecard bonus, so your points are less than 825 out of 1,000, or you have between 825 and 899, which gets you a penny per mile on all the miles that you've completed for the previous month. 900 to 949 gets you 2 cents a mile on all your completed miles for the month prior. 950 to 999 will get you 3 cents more on all dispatch miles, loaded and empty, from dispatched and completed, I should repeat, because the loads do need to be completed within that calendar month. So it needs to be delivered at that point. So that's an extra 3 cents a mile on all those miles. And if you have the perfect score of 1,000, you'll receive the full 4 cents a mile on that. Now, we did have quite a few perfect scores, but we've only had one individual who has had a perfect score since the beginning of the year, since January. Brian Hembry. Congratulations, Brian. You have held up that perfect score. I hope you continue to hold that up, because that's definitely brag-worthy. So keep that up. Fantastic job. First time perfect score earners was Terrence Crawford, Brandon Ford, David Harvey, and Tavarius Ike. So congratulations to those 4 as well for earning their first time ever in the scorecard, perfect score for their scorecard. Not necessarily first time for earning any of the extra cents per mile, but the perfect 1,000 points. Overall, we had a little over 200 drivers who scored that perfect score. It's about 32, or not perfect score, excuse me, but scored a bonus on the scorecard bonus, which is about 32% of our fleet. So huge congratulations to all of those. Tales of Julio says, well, hello. I was just involved in a non-preventable accident a few days ago, which I was not at fault. Does that affect me coming to Decker? When you're not at fault, no, it does not. I would most definitely get that information over to your recruiter that you're working with, though, so that they are well aware of it and it doesn't come back to haunt you. Meaning that it doesn't come back later and then we have to go through the rigmarole trying to figure out, okay, was it preventable, non-preventable? Let's get that taken care of ahead of time so that it's completed. Now, if it is not determined yet, then it would halt your current status until it is deemed non-preventable. But if it is in fact non-preventable, you're already well aware of it. When we get the employment verification from your current employer, that's where we would get where we would be able to confirm that it was non-preventable and you'd be totally safe. Does that make sense? There's a lot of rambling. Not meant to ramble. Michael says, all good here in Fort Dodge. Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, Tales of Julio, that's great news. When do you plan on coming aboard the Decker? Do you already have a start date? We have orientations, for those of you who aren't aware, we have orientations on Monday and Wednesday. Now for an inexperienced driver, someone who needs to go through training, which is an extra 3 weeks after, an extra 3 weeks following our 1 week orientation for a student. So you have a full week as a student. But as an experienced driver, it's just 2 to 3 days of orientation. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for the question. So yes, with the scorecard, you have the opportunity to earn a heck of a lot more money. And actually, I have, I think, a list of individuals who scored. Let me see if I can find that. Yes, these are all perfect scores. Here you go. These are our perfect scores, full 1,000 points. So huge kudos. Our hero of the week this week is Eugene Pearson. Eugene actually has had a perfect score or has earned the scorecard bonus since he hired on. So not necessarily a perfect score, but he has earned the scorecard bonus every month since he's hired on, which is fantastic. I know sometimes it gets a little difficult. Some people are trying to figure out, how am I going to get on there? How do I improve my score? You guys, you seriously have the opportunity to reach out to your driver manager or your art ambassador. So if you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about when I say art ambassador, let me explain. The art ambassador is someone who basically is assigned to you to check in with you on a regular basis within your first couple of months and answer any questions, give you the support, just that boost of support that you might need when you transition from whatever company or school you originated from to Decker. There's always going to be differences in the way that a company runs, and we want to make sure that you are up and aware of our Decker ways and policies. And so that's what we do. We assign you an ambassador who will be there to help you fine-tune everything, answer questions along the way. For instance, orientation is a week long for a student, but it can be a lot of information for someone who's new to the industry, and there's a lot of learning going on. Now, orientation's 2.5 days for an experienced driver, and it's still a lot of information, and it's still a learning curve, but you might be retaining a whole lot more information than somebody who's a student who the whole thing is new to them. And we get that. But our benefit package, which by the way starts after 60 days, our benefits, what we have to offer, some of our procedures, like getting your paperwork in, who to contact if you have an OS&D claim, accessing your scorecard or your safety bonus information. All of that is basically what that art ambassador does, is help you walk through it, help you maneuver and find all the information that you might need along the way. So you have quite a few. Now, of course, your driver manager is your first contact. That's your first point of communication. But that doesn't mean that they're always available at the moment that you need it. And sometimes you just want that little extra information, that extra time to discuss something. And when it comes to benefits and stuff like that, your art ambassador is probably a better one to talk to than your driver manager, who is more there to help improve your scores on your scorecard, improve your miles, managing your time, getting you the loads. You know, you can kind of see where the line draws. But we're all here for you either way, and several of our driver managers are ambassadors as well. Michael says, does HVG, an accident in a company truck, be paid by company drivers? Does HVG, an accident in a company truck, be paid by a company or drivers? I am not positive what you're asking, but may I take a stab at it? If you're asking if a driver is at fault, so if like a preventable accident, are you asking me if a preventable accident, on a driver preventable accident, is if the driver is responsible? Is that what you're telling me? So if you're a lease purchase driver or an owner operator, then you're responsible for the accident at that point. If it's a cargo claim, it's a little bit different. We have the cargo insurance for that. As an owner operator lease purchase, you're holding the insurance. But we have it. Okay, thanks. Let me make sure I answered that right. So yes, if you're a company driver, then that's what our insurance is for. Now, if you are completely at fault and there might be a time that you might be responsible for, this is depending on the circumstances, but for most part, no, you are not. I am thinking if you're completely, how do I want to say this? Completely negligent, if you did something that you disobeyed the law, you if you are guilty in all accounts, is basically what I'm saying, then it could fall back on you, I guess. But for the most part, no, it does not. We have insurance for it. We'll be covering with the deductibles, things like that. But, okay. Okay, it is paid by the company. Short answer, it is paid by the company. Thanks, Michael. I wasn't positive what you were asking me, but now I gotcha. But honestly, I believe that if you were negligent in multiple aspects, that it could probably, like the deductible could fall back on you. And I'm thinking that if you were, like a DUI or something like that, where it was complete negligence. That's what I'm thinking. But for the most part, no, that is the company pays for that. It's a good question. Confused the jeebers out of me, but I got you. All right. Any others right out of the gate? Well, I definitely want to recognize all of those guys who had gotten the perfect scores. Steve Gallagher, Lanika Anderson, Robert Anderson, Martin Blanker, David Bodel, Andre Buckner, Anthony Clayton, Stephen Current, Claudia Day Deer, Louis Diaz, Lydia Dietrich, Lauren Durham, Steve Erler, Christopher Eppens, Warren Exlerben, Travis Gatling, Chad Hazelton, David Hemby, Daniel Jimerson, Dominique McClure, Dennis McCubbin, Greg Narcisco, I always say Narcisco, I say it wrong, Narciso, Tony Nelson, Sam Nugent, Lisa Ormont, Todd Overson, Eugene Person, Randy Pratt, Mary Reeder, David Rulstead, Dean Sosik, Adam Stark, Alan Vernon, David Wathen, James Wise, Christopher Zwick, and our owner-operators Lease Purchase, who earned a perfect score. Now these guys, this is a little bit different. Instead of an extra 4 cents a mile that they get on their bonus for the perfect score, they actually get 3. And again, the difference is between their idle time and the fuel compliance. So those don't count for or against them. But I can definitely tell you they're saving a lot of money if they stick. It actually is about 48 cents per mile using our fuel solution that they are saving. Pretty impressive. You're welcome, Michael. You betcha. So yes, an extra 3 cents a mile for all those with the perfect score. Their miles, driver service claims, driver service claims, service failures, claims, preventable accidents, CSA violations, those are going to count the same whether you're an owner-operator or lease purchase. So those 5 criteria are going to be the same. So again, shout out to Jerry Arthur, Jamie Beam, Terrence Crawford, Brandon Ford, Damian Guthrie, David Harvey, Brian Hembry, John Hodges, Tavarius Ike, David Jones, Randy Kazma, Kevin Miller, Tim Olden, and Charles Wobel. Congratulations to each and every one of you. And remember, I mentioned that Brian, who is an owner-operator lease purchase, he actually has had a perfect score all year, and he only has a couple more months in order to keep that going. So hope to continue to see that. That's pretty awesome. Again, payouts come usually the third pay period, or following the third pay period of every month. It usually comes out on a Monday. So if you guys aren't seeing it, you just reach out to us. Now, if you have any questions on your, because you'll actually receive, where's my phone? If you go into your TransFlow app on your phone, you'll actually receive information on your scorecard the week prior to when you're paid this out. So you'll receive it on like a Monday. And then if you have any questions about it, make sure that you address it with your driver manager before Thursday so that the payroll can go through and make changes if need be. But yeah, review it as soon as you get it on your Scorecard TransFlow app, the Scorecard section of your TransFlow app, and talk to your driver manager about it if you have any questions whatsoever. If you have a perfect score, I imagine you don't have any questions. Right? Yeah. Now, that leads me into our bonus, our safety bonus. Now, that's a little bit different. I do want to mention that with our Scorecard bonus, we paid out over $10,000 for the month of July. Now, if you're confused and saying, hey, this is August, I gotcha. All the miles that you ran in July are paid out the third third week of the month following it. So right around there. All these numbers I'm giving you, these are July numbers. Okay? All right. So over $10,000 were paid out to our owner-operators lease purchase. We had about 47 owner-operator lease purchase drivers who earned that on an average of almost $220 per driver that was paid out. Now that's the average as an owner-operator lease purchase. As a company driver, averaged a little over $200 per driver, and we had about 165 drivers who earned a payout in the scorecard, totaling a little over $33,000 for the month of July. So between owner-operators lease purchase and company drivers, we paid out over $43,000 in the scorecard bonus alone. Now in combination of the safety bonus, which the safety bonus, basically you have to have a score of 20 or below in order to qualify for the safety bonus. We have a lot of drivers who earned the safety bonus. We had a lot of drivers who actually had perfect scores. When we first started this, which was, I'm going to have to use my fingers to do the math. No, I can't remember if it was in 2017 or 2018 when we started the Smart Drive originally, but I would have not ever guessed that we would have had so many people with perfect scores, because there were so many habits that we were unaware of. For instance, following too close or speeding, just hard braking and stuff like that on a regular basis. That could be a lot of damage to you and to the equipment and to the cargo, and hard braking and not in time to the vehicle in front of you. So there's a lot of habits that we were able to recognize as individual drivers and throughout the safety department and able to improve upon. So that being said, we had a lot of drivers who earned perfect scores on our safety bonus, which pays an extra penny per mile, not just the perfect score, but anything under 20, which earns an extra penny per mile on all the miles that were completed for that month. So between the scorecard bonus, which was $43,000 that we paid out, we had over $65,000, almost $66,000 in overall safety and scorecard bonuses across both the company and the owner-operator lease purchase side. And this is the list for our safety earners, not only earners, but our perfect safety score. That is the list. I will not read that. I do during our Facebook Lives, but I tell you guys, that is one heck of a list of all those who have successfully earned an extra penny per mile. And here you can see the stats between our owner-operators and our company drivers. Little over 20,000, 21,000 paid out in safety bonuses. So very, very impressive with all of those people who have earned the safety bonus. Congratulations, you guys. So all combined as a company driver, that's an extra 5 cents a mile that you can earn per month on all the miles that were completed, and then an extra 4 cents a mile as an owner-operator lease purchase per month that you can complete. Now that's just the safety, the monthly bonuses that we have. We also have Driver of the Month. Driver of the Month is pretty fun. Now, Driver of the Month is basically by division. And now our divisions have kind of changed in the last couple of months, but the way that we earn the Driver of the Month is that it starts with your scorecard. And you'll receive one of these in your, let me see if I can grab that for you. When you come aboard, so Tales of Julio, here's an example. When you come aboard, you're going to get a yellow folder. And these yellow folders come with additional information. They come with information on our referral bonus, which you will find very handy. And in all honesty, you guys, if you are looking to make extra money beyond your driving, your mileage, or your guaranteed pay, if you're looking to make extra money, the referral program is a fantastic way to do that. in 2019, and I use this because Jesse was our first winner for the driver referral program when we started it. But Jesse Torres, Jesus Torres, he actually had 5 referrals within the last quarter of the year. Fourth quarter, had 5 referrals and earned an extra $11,000. Yes, in addition to everything else. So huge shout out to him on that. But in addition to that, you'll also be receiving the printout. Now this is the breakdown for the scorecard bonus. How it pays out, what the percentage is, what, like if your fuel compliance, you know, if you were 75% compliant with your fuel, how many points would you get? Well, you get 10 points. 10 points out of 50, so you lose 40 points on that one. So that's automatically going to bump you down into the 3 cents a mile. But it breaks all that down, and it also gives you the information on the safety. There's a lot of information here that you'll receive in your yellow folder, but that's just one of them. And seeing as that's what we were talking about, I wanted to make sure I addressed that. So hang on to those. Also, in addition to that yellow folder, or within that yellow folder, is a contact list. That contact list is very important and very handy. So hang on to that sucker. All right, where was I at? Talking about driver of the month. So we start at our scorecard. So where your scorecard is, what your safety score is, those are like hand in hand, okay? So if you've got a great scorecard and you've got a great safety, then we're going to go through all the names of the individuals who had scored well, and then you go basically into the I was going to say drawing, but not a drawing, but into a tally for voting. So all the different departments, let me see if I can get this right. There's the safety department, of course, safety, maintenance, operations, HR. I'm sure I'm missing some, but training. So all the different departments will vote on the winner for driver of the month. And driver of the month gets an extra $100 gift card to Walmart, in addition to a $50 gift card to our Decker store, which, by the way, our Decker store is awesome. We've been working on the online, and you can access that or get a hold of Steph to purchase anything at the Decker store. So if you're in Missoula, I think Bessemer now has a few items, but Missoula or Fort Dodge, you've got a bunch of items to choose from. Okay, anyways, side note, right? But then you get, as a nominee, and not every division gets a nominee because it does depend on how many people are in your division, on how many nominees you do or don't have. And as a nominee, you get an extra $50 gift card to Walmart and a gift from the Decker store. Now that is not it. From Driver of the Month, now this is why you want to earn Driver of the Month. That's prestigious. But what's even more prestigious is, of the 12 Driver of the Months that are chosen for that division, you automatically go into a running for Driver of the Year. Driver of the Year earns an extra $3,000 prize for that division. And in addition to that, now let me back up just 1 second. You can only earn Driver of the Month one time within a calendar year. One time, okay? So there won't be more than 12 entries per division. There are some divisions that don't have as many, and so like our teams would be an example. And so there may not be 12, 14, there may not be 12 teams in there, but there are multiple people who are running for the team's position. And you'll get an extra $3,000. Now, from the Driver of the Years, we do a big ol' award ceremony, which is so much fun, brag-worthy. You can check that out on our Facebook page or our YouTube page for more information, or just to see a replay of it, or even highlights. But from the Driver of the Year, a grand champion is chosen. And the grand champion gets $15,000 in cash. And a big old check to accept it in. It is super cool. So if you're interested at all in that, please let us know and let's see if we can't help you work towards that goal. We want to make sure that you guys are improving and staying in contact with your driver manager, knowing your numbers, knowing your stats, and improving on them each and every month. That's going to get you there. That's going to improve it. All right? Okay, there you have it. Let's take a look at who our Driver of the Month winners are for the month of July. Our Midwest, well, let's can't really see this. Let's get this a little bit higher. Our Midwest refrigerated winner, James Wise. Congratulations, James. Christopher Eppins and David Wathen are our nominees. And Chad Hazelton won the Western Refrigerated. Lauren Durham, our nominee. Congratulations. And Warren Exelben in our Midwest Flatbed. Congratulations. Also, remember I mentioned that some of them don't have nominees because of the number of drivers in a specific division. Now, our over-the-road flatbed division, Claudia Day Deer taking the title. Congratulations for the win, Driver of the Month. And Ronald Murrow is our nominee. And for owner-operator, lease purchase, John Hodges. Congratulations, John. Awesome. Congratulations, you guys. Super awesome to hear. Love to see the improvements and the names coming around. So kudos. All right, so that's our bonus. That's what was paid out this month. Again, it pays out the third week of the month following when you completed it. So if you have any questions, please reach out to your driver manager for anything like that. Okay. Speaking of reaching out, we talked a little bit about the ambassadors and how resourceful they can be to you. Now, in addition to just talking about the benefits, dive a little bit deeper in knowing that, yes, they start after 60 days. Yes, it's a Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's an 80-20 plan. You have a 50% match on your 401k. So take advantage of that as much as you can in order to earn top. Fully vested at 6 years. Like I said, it's a 50% match. So if you guys have questions on it, reach out to your ambassador. Reach out to your driver manager if need be, but we're here to answer those questions for you. Okay. Excellent. And what else can I tell you here? Safe Driver Week. We are in the midst of Safe Driver Week. Pre-trips are always important. Don't forget your pre-trips. But post-trips are going to be just as important. So make sure you're looking out for that. Brake Safety Week, or Driver Safety Week. Brake Safety Week, it's an annual commercial motor vehicle brake safety inspection, enforcement, and education incentive. Its data, or the resulting in the data, is sent to the Commercial Motor Vehicle Safety Alliance, or Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, CVSA. And just last year, 12% of all the inspected commercial vehicles had brake-related vehicle inspections were put out of service. 12%. This is an annual thing. And brake safety, if your brakes are not in proper order, if there's defects or any issues whatsoever with the brakes, you need to contact your maintenance support. Now, here at Decker, you can contact it at 515-574-4321. And that's our maintenance support 24/7, you guys. They're there 24/7. Your safety is important. It is vital. You are our number one. If you're not being taken care of, then nothing matters here. We've got to take care of you first. Part of that is making sure that you have the best equipment, best maintained, most quality. That's why we have so many amenities. I had a guy reach out. When you have you're on TikTok and you're sharing some of the videos or some clips that people have said. Ron Clark, he had just an awesome thing to say during the truck driving championships in Montana, and I captured that, put it up on our TikTok, and a guy stitched us and says, yeah, that's how you make lazy drivers. That is not the case. He is talking about all of our amenities. No, we provide those amenities for comfort. Our drivers do a fantastic job. They have more than proved to themselves. So this is our thank you for those who have already earned it. Not to make you lazy, but to make you comfortable when there are downtimes. And you're out on the road. You're out on the road all the time. You're sacrificing time away, hours and holidays at times. We owe you guys a lot. You're doing a fantastic job for us. That's just one way to appreciate you. So yes, we have Epic View satellite TV. That's company paid. Yes, we have 22-inch televisions and microwaves and refrigerators and APUs and inverters and double bunks. We have them because we knew they were important to you. We had them because we had requests for them. And you guys have earned them. So, yeah. That being said. Hey, John, how are you? So I think that's super important, and don't dismiss somebody who might have extra amenities, maybe providing. That's not a bad thing. You can be taken care of. That's what we try to do. We try and take good care of you. We have free Wi-Fi too. So when people are doing those kind of things, we got you. All right. Yeah, huge shout out to all of our drivers. And yes, Brake Safety Week, it's going on right now. Make sure you're checking, you're doing your pre-trips as always, post-trips as always. But improper safe or brakes, if that is a huge safety concern, especially if you're speeding at any cost, you guys, your safety is important. It's got to be important to you as well as to us. Okay? Please. They can't. John says, can these trucks turn 180 degrees like in Batman? No. Have you ever seen Live Free, Die Hard? I'm a huge Lethal Weapon fan. Lethal Weapon. Die Hard fan. But in Live Free, Die Hard, I don't know if you guys haven't seen it, it's not very fun. I know, terrible. But in Live Free, Die Hard, when they come around that off-ramp, which is like a super windy off-ramp, I think, holy smokes, it just makes me mad when it's completely impossible. Don't screw up a good movie. No, not 180 degrees like Batman. Not quite. They're good, but they're not that good. Although, watching some of the truck championships, it might be debatable. Some of them were pretty good. Speaking of truck championships, Dean Filmer placed 23rd at Nationals in the 5-axle. Shout out to Dean. Woohoo! And Lyle Turville, he earned 14th, right? 16th in what? Sleeper berth. Yep. And they can't transform like Transformers. Although they go from a money-making machine to a great home, because they have all the amenities. So maybe it's transforming, or maybe it's just relocating within the truck. I don't know. You make that call. Fun. Yes. So yeah, Lyle did get 16th in the sleeper berth and Dean 23rd in the 5-axle. Either way, awesome way to represent Decker. Lyle is from Montana and Dean is from Iowa. And their wives were able to celebrate with them, to enjoy with that. Yeah. All right. I promised that I would talk about some of the available positions that we have here at Decker. So I'm going to go ahead and just visit a little bit about that. The last several weeks, we've been talking about our teams opportunity. You guys, we have these great team opportunities. I know they are filling up fast, but I do want to make sure that you are well aware of all of the details. The dedicated position, I believe, is going to be filled this next week. So congratulations, Michael. And Liz, sounds like you guys are going to be starting next week on that. And then the other position that we have, now that's the dedicated Des Moines or not Des Moines, but dedicated from Lockport, Illinois to Colorado Springs, Colorado on that one, hauling bread loads. But then we also have a regional position that runs a lot of the Northwest, the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Montana, Idaho, Utah, and then back into the Iowa area. So if you live on I-90 from Seattle to Iowa, then you're along the route and eligible for that team position. Now, that you do need to live, the team members do need to live within the same town at very least, in order to get you the home time that you need. That home time is usually about every 2 weeks for that position. It is not dedicated, but it is definitely regional, running back and forth between areas of the Pacific Northwest and Iowa for the most part. Great miles, great pay. You're making over $2,000, per driver. $2,000 per driver per week. And then over $200,000 as a team per year. So not too shabby. Over 26,000 miles for the month, which puts you at the top tier for the pay. Now, every week you'll be paid the 60 cents a mile, every single week. But the more miles you run, the more pay you get per mile at the end of the month. So this is a little bit different. As a team, you get an extra monthly bonus for mileage. And you can still qualify for the scorecard and the safety bonus, by the way. This is just one more monthly bonus. And per driver, you're probably looking at an extra $1,000 or so a month in the mileage bonus. So, and that's actually calculated into the $212,000 that you can expect to earn per year as a team. So let's see, if you run, so there's tiers. If you're running between 12 and 14,000 miles a month, well, here's the deal. Everything over 18,000 miles a month is paid an extra 8 cents a mile on top of the 60 cents a mile you're seeing every single week. Well, because you're running 26,000 miles for the month, you're going to be seeing that every time. If you're on a vacation, a little different story, then obviously that's going to affect your miles. So if you only ran between 12 and 14,000, you're looking at an extra 2 cents a mile instead of the extra 8 cents a mile. If you're running between 14 and 18,000 miles a month, 14 and 16,000 miles a month, it's an extra 4 cents a mile, an extra 6 cents a mile between 14 and 16, or 16 and 18,000 miles a month, anything over 18,000 miles a month, which you should be averaging over 26,000, then you'll be getting that extra 8 cents a mile on top of the 60. So there you have it. If you guys have questions, this number that's plastered up here, you can just give us a call, 888-668-0698. Get a hold of one of our recruiters. They'll be there to answer your questions, let you know if they can fill you in on that. Okay? Excellent. All right, so that's our team position, but we have a lot of solo positions available as well. If you're looking for refrigerated, if you live in a specific area and you want to know if we have more regional positions dedicated, just again, reach out to our recruiting department for more information. If you're on the live right now and you want to go ahead and throw your zip code in the chat, I can go ahead and answer that for you immediately on what we have available out of your area based off of obviously where you live there. So 888-668-0698 for more details on that. Cool. All right, refrigerated, some dedicated positions out of there. Definitely regional, home weekly in a lot of the areas, especially within the Midwest. Over the road, if you're out in the Pacific Northwest. If you're in the Seattle area, however, we can get you home every 7 to 10 days. Areas of the Midwest, home weekly, usually, especially in flatbed. Actually, flatbed, home on like a Friday night or a Saturday morning and then back out Sunday night or Monday morning for the most part, especially for our Midwest flatbed. Our over-the-road flatbed, home usually every other weekend in that one, unless you live in Alabama or Georgia or one of the areas that we can offer home weekly, which is then the same thing, Monday, coming home on like a Friday night or Saturday morning and leaving back out Sunday night or Monday morning. So it's 5 days for flatbed, 5 days out on the road, basically. So just give us a call, 888-668-0698 for more details on that as well. Over-the-road refrigerated, over-the-road flatbed, we have team, we have solo, we have owner-operator, we have lease purchase. Lease purchase and owner-operators are paid 72% of the load, plus the fuel surcharge, 100% of the fuel surcharge for flatbed. Now for the refrigerated division, Decker pays for the reefer fuel. So we do take 10% of the fuel surcharge to put it towards the reefer fuel. On any dry loads, you get 100% of the fuel surcharge, because obviously there's no reefer fuel. It's for us to be covering. So no need for that portion to go to this, to the truck. Yeah. Michael says, I hate driving in snow and ice. Yes, the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, and Midwest, and like a lot of snow and ice anymore. We have guaranteed pay. So this brings up a good point that I'm going to hit upon here. We do have guaranteed pay pretty much across the board. And they are different amounts. You know, overall, $1,000, you're not going to see less than $1,000 each week, as long as you are qualifying. So as long as you meet all of the qualifications, which are pretty basic. These are the qualifications. No driver service failures, so no late loads. No preventable accidents, no CSA violations. And this is on a week-by-week basis, okay? So if you had a CSA violation in your second week, that's not going to affect your third, fourth, fifth week, and so on. It's just going to affect your second. Okay, so no driver service failures, no preventable accidents, no CSA violations, preventable CSA violations. Get your paperwork in on time. You must get your paperwork in. You can scan it or take a picture of it and get it in through your TransFlow Geotab system. What else am I missing? Be available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week, and no load refusals. Those are the 6 requirements. I told you they were pretty basic, but they're there. They're holding each of us accountable. So when it comes to snow and ice, if the roads are bad and you need to shut down, you can shut down. Safety comes first, you guys. Safety comes first before the load. The load is important, and I do not want to dismiss that. You know just as well as I do that this is trucking, the load is important. But you need to be able to get there. And with snow and ice, let's wait till the road's clear if need be. We do not require you to chain. We do not. And there are times that we've had to shut the fleets down because the roads were too bad and the areas got hit so hard. That wasn't this February, was it? Was it last February? Oh, I'm trying to think of what February. We had the guaranteed pay, and the Midwest was getting horrific. You're welcome. The Midwest was getting horrific weather, like horrible weather. And in the Northwest, you know, we get that. I'm from Montana. I am in Montana. We get that a lot. Midwest, we were still getting it a lot, and we shut down in those areas. In the Midwest, we shut down in those areas. We shut down 500 trucks one day. No, that's not a common thing for us. So I don't want you thinking like, oh, they're shutting them down all the time. That isn't common. But we had to put your safety first. And we have some drivers who I've driven for years and years. And we don't want them overconfidently going beyond what they can and can't do, what's out of their control. So we've got your back, you guys. That being said, don't expect it all the time that we're shutting down. But that one day we shut down. Now I can't remember if it was in December or February, but we had a couple of, that was a horrible winter. But we had to shut down over 500 trucks in a fleet of about 680. Yeah. Because it was such a massive area that was covered. I mean, I remember at the very least Denver over to Indiana, that was just horrible weather. The wind was awful. There was snow and sleet and icy roads, and the wind just, it wasn't safe. we had to shut you down. It was just too much of a risk. And thankfully, everybody was safe. And yes, it was horrible. If any of you guys were out on the road during that, I'm sure you remember. But anyways, that guaranteed pay is there, put in place. Now, there are some divisions that offer a higher guaranteed pay, but the base is $1,000. Your rate of pay per mile and the number of miles that you run should most definitely exceed that, but it's there as a safety net. Because there are some things that are just out of your control. You know, say weather is what brought that up. That's why I said it. But weather, sometimes on certain loads, there's delays or cancellations that were unforeseen. Now, we have a great customer base. Our customer base is like 99% customer contracts. We do have the option and a brokerage company that we can work with as well for additional loads if we need them, but we're like 99% contract freight. With a flatbed, I think it's about 95, so it's a little bit different, but still high contract numbers, which is reassuring because you know those loads are there. Now, I know you guys have probably been hearing, I don't know if any of you guys listen to Freight Waves. I do. But they're talking about how the industry and the miles are, you know, they're going back to pre-COVID miles. So you could definitely see, but pre-COVID miles were good miles. They weren't low, but they just weren't as insane as they have been in the last 2 years. You guys have worked your tails off is what I'm saying. But why do I need to say that when you already know that? Right? Oh, so right. I know I'm right on that one. You guys have kept this nation running in a mess. So kudos to all of you guys. And for those of you who are not drivers, you should thank a driver. Or 3 or 4 or 5. Make sure that they get their kudos where deserved. Speaking of kudos, hey, we've got Driver Appreciation Week coming up, right? I love Driver Appreciation Week. Anybody going to be at the scales this is Montana. What day is it? I gotta look. Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be in Wednesday. So Wednesday I'll be at the scales on the western side of Montana, handing out food. I wonder, like, we had pulled pork last year. I think we had actually pulled pork the last 2 years. Maybe it was hamburgers last year, pulled pork the one before. I'll have to hit Jason up because Jason was cooking one of those days. But Jason Sorleen in our Missoula office. But a bunch of us get to go for it. I love those. Those are so fun because I get out and I get to see you guys and pick on you, vice versa. Feed you. That's not bad. Fort Dodge has got all kinds of things planned. We'll be giving you the schedule here soon. Breakfast is provided at the terminals during that time. I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but we'll have more information coming out to you probably next week or in probably 2 weeks for information on driver appreciation. But yeah, that's coming. That is the 11th through the 17th of September. So a little less than a month. 11 through the 17th. So anyways, as I veer, you guys have been awesome. Thank you for joining me today. And if you have any other questions, just hit me up. You can follow us on TikTok. I do lives on there as well. Randomly, do not ask for a certain time because whenever I have a free moment that I can answer some questions for you guys and get through them. But they're throughout the day, here and there. And of course, we do our live every Monday at 4 p.m. Central on our Facebook page. So if you aren't already following us at facebook.com/DTLinc, you can find us right there and follow us and join us for our Monday live. And then, of course, Tuesday, right here on our YouTube channel, every Tuesday at noon Central, 11 Mountain Time, and sharing information on Decker, giving you the details. So you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, if you have more questions, this number right here, that'll reach your recruiter. You can also apply online at drivedecker.com. All right, I'll see you next week.